This is Jason Gable with Mount Baker Mining and Metals, and I've run quite a bit of scrap metal through our hammer mills in the last couple weeks and put some videos on YouTube. And that's all well and good, and it's fun to watch them and see all the stuff come out the bottom. But the real question is, can you make any money doing it? Is it worth doing? So we're going to take this unit. This is a 16 by 12 hammer mill. You can see down there in the inside there's the hammers, and the bar grade spacing on this is 2 inches. So as soon as something gets hammered to 2 inches, it falls out the bottom and into the box. And what I'm going to do is, just as a kind of a trial run here, I'm going to go get some dirty brass, some contaminated brass, and run it through this machine. I'm going to run it right into the box, hand sort it into its separate components, and take it in as clean brass, clean copper, clean stainless, and whatever else we hand sort out, and see if you can actually make money by cleaning brass up. Just as an example, here's some old kitchen faucets, some old plumbing fixtures, lots of plumbing, valves. This is an old regulator off a welder or oxyacetylene torch. There's an old light for the porch. Okay, so here's the discharge from the hammer mill, and I'm just going to hand sort this. There's a piece of clean copper. There's 2 pieces of clean yellow brass. There's a piece of clean red brass. There's some more clean copper. Here's a bucket of clean yellow brass, and it's everything from little tiny fittings off of valves to this is probably an old kitchen faucet. It's that chrome plated brass. Here's some more of it. So this whole bucket is clean brass, yellow brass. This is clean red brass, and red brass you usually find in your larger valves. It's worth just a little bit more than yellow brass. This is pot metal. There's not very much pot metal. A little bit of stainless steel. Here's all your steel and garbage, plastic. This is all clean copper. So we finished running our brass, and there was quite a bit of fines. This is all the stuff that we didn't hand sort. It's all the fine stuff. We just put it all in a bucket. And I'm going to play around with trying to figure out how to get the rest of the brass out of here. There's still some brass, and there's a little bit of copper wire, and there's a bunch of plastic in here and some garbage and stuff. And so there's still some values in here, but we just got tired of hand sorting it, and there's about 20 pounds left here. So there's going to be 20 pounds missing from the total amount of 160 pounds that I bought when I take it back. Another thing I'll mention here real quick is we ran all 160 pounds through the hammer mill, and there were 30 pounds that I had to rerun through the hammer mill again, and it went fairly fast because they'd already been through once, but it didn't knock all the steel contamination off it the first time. And after the 30 pounds, there was about 6 or 8 pounds of brass I had to hand clean with a screwdriver and a hammer and stuff. So it was a little bit time consuming right there at the end, and but just to give you the full picture of what we had to do. I've screened it. This is all the stuff. There's the screen I use. This is the stuff that was larger than 1/2 inch. Here's another cut over here. This is between 1/2 inch and 1/8 of an inch. You can still see there's some brass and some copper wire in there, all mixed up with little pieces of plastic. That's what an 1/8 inch screen looks like. And here's the fine material. This went through an 1/8 inch screen. Lots of little brass shavings and things in there. And there's about 20 pounds of material here. There you can kind of see all 3 of them there. And I'm not sure the best way to clean this. And I'm hoping, I'm going to keep this. I'm not going to turn it in. But I'm hoping that all my value isn't here in this 20 pounds of leftover stuff. Here are the results of our dirty brass through the hammer mill and hand sorting. So I'll walk you through a couple sheets here and let you know how it went. So this is the scrap prices. It's November 2014. Right now my scrapyard will take dirty brass at 55 cents a pound. So I had 160 pounds of dirty brass, and if I took it in just as dirty brass, it'd be worth $88. Here's the results of the hammer mill test, and this is all hand sorted. I ended up with 58 pounds of clean yellow brass. They paid me $1.70 a pound, so that was worth $98.60. 38 pounds of red brass at $2. 8 pounds of number 2 copper at $2.35. 11 pounds of stainless. 8 pounds of what they call pot metal, and 17 pounds of steel. I ended up with 140 pounds of material. I have the 20 pounds of fine material that I kept, so that's why I didn't bring back 160 pounds. And the total value is $199.45. So if I would have taken it in as dirty brass, it would have been worth $88. I took 140 pounds of cleaned brass in at $199.45. I made $111.45 by running it through the hammer mill and cleaning it by hand. And like I said, I did 160 pounds of dirty brass. It took me about 4.5 hours of work, and that number's probably a lot higher than it would actually take on a production basis, because I didn't have the right tools, and I kept going and getting a hammer or a screwdriver or whatever to help clean the last little bit of brass. And when I was sorting it, it was hard to tell. I'm not very good at telling the difference between yellow brass and pot metal and red brass, and so there was a pretty steep learning curve for me trying to sort all this stuff by hand. So that's a pretty high number, but even at that, it's still about $25 an hour or so that the value was increased. So even if you cut that number in half, if you got real good and you know the difference between pot metal and brass, and you can be pretty fast at it, you're looking at $40 or $50 an hour. So to look at it another way, I made $111.45 from 160 pounds of material, so I increased the value by 69 cents a pound. So if you take 69 cents a pound and multiply it by 2,000 pounds, I increased the value by $1,393 a ton. So if I would have taken in a ton of dirty brass, I would have got paid 55 cents a pound, or $1,100 a ton. And if I ran that same ton through the hammer mill, it'd be worth $24.93 a ton when I cleaned it. And I'll also say that when I went and got the dirty brass, I didn't cherry pick it. I didn't pick all the valuable stuff. I really tried to be as neutral about it as I could. I picked a lot of dirty kitchen faucets and plumbing stuff. I took a lot of valves from water lines and gas lines and things that I knew were fairly common in the industry, and that if you were going to go and try and get dirty brass, you'd probably run across a lot of this stuff that I ran through. So hopefully this was a help to some of you guys, and it always helps me to put some numbers to some of the ideas that I have and make sure they work. And so looking at these numbers, I think they're pretty promising, and I'm going to do a couple more videos like this with different metals over the next couple of weeks or months. So stay tuned, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you guys are interested in any information about our hammer mills or other recycling equipment, please give us a call or email, all of which is in the description. So thanks for watching.